Faith, like an unseen bird descending from the horizon, is a gift of his mercy, bestowed upon whom he wills. It alights on the tree of the servant's heart, singing sweet melodies. Their Lord gives them glad tidings. This faith, from the cage of the chest of its possessor to the seat of truth in the Muhammadan law, is the fruit of the tree of existence, the Islamic creed, the sun that illuminated the darkness of the universe. Following his law, you will find happiness in both worlds. But beware, do not stray from his circle. Never separate yourself from the consensus of his people. In the heart of the possessor of the most significant law, the treasures of his wisdom are hidden in the secrets of the possessor of the greater law, the treasures of the unseen. Accept his command on your path to Allah Almighty, for his way will lead your mind to the Kaaba of intellect, a sanctuary for the heart. The words of his judgments are treasures, drawn from the water of his speech, quenching the thirst of souls in the eyes of the life of his words, cleansing the fleeting thoughts of the minds. The call to the spirits hidden within bodies stirred their resolution to rise. They flew on the wings of love in the expanse of devotion, landing after fatigue on the branches of yearning. They harmonized with the melodies of longing at dawn, as their nightingales sang their heartfelt tunes, longing for beauty. And I bear witness to them, disturbed by the breeze of passionate love, calling them back to the sweetness of, "Am I not your Lord?" Some of these birds emerged from the cages of hearts, seeking a trace of their old flight, inhaling a breeze from the breath of speech, remembering their life in the shade of union, complaining of the loss of the beloved. They heard the call of Allah in the language of divine generosity. His invocation etched in the pages of the Spirit's vast realms. His call, like a wind, shook the branches of the hearts. The horses of the intellect were stirred by what they heard, trembling with the warmth of that covenant. Their life with him became a secret among the mysteries of the eternal, and their longing for him grew as a delicate force of divine destiny. When the light of the unseen shines upon the free souls, secrets are preserved, and the veils over their eyes are lifted. They witness the beauty of the Lord of the universe, perceiving it through the clear mirrors of the mysteries. The Kaaba of every knower is the place of the divine gaze upon them. The closest path to Allah is the adherence to the law of servitude, holding fast to the rope of the Muhammadan law and maintaining uprightness in the path of piety. Your relationship with Allah is proportional to your distance from everything else. Your trust in Allah is proportional to your knowledge of Him. Confusion in deeds is a form of deprivation. Immersion in the pursuit of the world distracts the intellect from seeking Allah. Hypocrisy in aspirations is like an eclipse in the sun of desires. However, sincerity in intentions is a clarity in the path of the seeker. It is a beacon that guides the seeker's actions and keeps them focused on the path of spiritual growth. The agony of hearts is the separation from the beloved, and the agony of minds is the entanglement in worldly distractions. The glitter of the world is a veil that prevents access to the divine realms. Turning towards Allah with the face of your worship is the cause of His turning towards you with the face of mercy. If a child's intellect were to mature in the lap of discipline, it would not turn to the world. But here, it is in the cradle, distracted by the cares of worldly possessions and loved ones. The pure souls are the lanterns of the bodies, and the clear intellects are the kings of the palaces of forms. The greatest name, The most outstanding name of Allah is Allah. You will be answered when you speak His name with a heart that contains nothing but Him. The name Bismillah, in the name of Allah, comes from the Knowing One as a manifestation of Be from Allah. This word removes worry, unveils sorrow, neutralizes poison, and its light spreads everywhere. Allah dominates, and through this name, the seeker is guided. The power of His name is a testament to His omnipotence and a source of awe and reverence for the seeker. Explanation of terms: loyalty, the fulfillment of the duty of servitude, the honoring of the covenant, and the promise made by Allah with souls in the world of atoms, service, worship, and religious obligations. Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 45. The sixth article, symbolic articles. Remembrance, Dhikr. The sweetest water that the thirst of minds has ever encountered is the water of remembrance and monotheism. The best breeze to ever blow over the hearts is the breeze of intimacy with Allah, the mighty and majestic. The delight in conversing with Allah is like cups of rest for souls, and the remembrance of Allah is the cure for the blindness of minds. The pearls of praise to Allah can only be worn by the crowns of the secrets of the soul. Remembrance, Dhikr, is synonymous with the Holy Quran. See references in Al-Imran 58, Az-Zukhruf 44, and Al-Baqarah 11. It is also used in verses to mean remembering Allah, refer to the index of Quranic terms. In Sufism, Dhikr is one of the key practices in spiritual development, influencing the purification of the soul and its opposition to desires. Imam al-Ghazali's work, Ihya Ulum al-Din, mentions Dhikr as one of the highest stages of the Sufi path. This emphasis on the role of remembrance in spiritual development is a source of motivation and commitment for all who seek spiritual growth. When you remember your Lord with good words, the locks on your heart will open. If you remember Him with subtle signs of His command, you are truly remembering Him in reality. If you remember Him with your heart, He will draw you near to His mercy. And if you remember Him in secret, He will bring you closer to the sacred precincts. And if you speak truthfully in your love for Him, He will carry you on the wings of His grace to a seat of truth. This transformative power of remembrance is a source of inspiration and hope for all who seek spiritual growth. The fragrance of His gratitude does not spread except in the pockets of the garments of souls, and the praise for Him only emerges from the tongues of His believing servants. He who does not recognize the majesty of His greatness, and who turns even for a moment from remembering Him, or does not witness His eternal oneness, has diverted his heart's gaze from Him. Remembrance is the spirit of divine mercy, and its breeze blows upon the hearts of the rememberers, causing them to tremble with joy. This joy and fulfillment from remembrance are a source of encouragement and upliftment for all who strive for spiritual closeness. The lovers are consumed by the flames of longing, and the yearning souls become lost in the distance of separation. Their words are filled with the sweetness of nearness to the One, and they exclaim, "I feel the fragrance of Yusuf." Their hearts and minds are overwhelmed by this divine longing, and they recognize the Beloved in the gardens of their thoughts, hidden under veils of secrets, as if seeing with their spiritual eyes. Like a flame in the desert of separation, their longing burns with an intensity that only the envoy of generosity, a healer of fate, can soothe. He cures their blindness with the coal of divine remembrance, a balm for their aching souls. When the appearance of this name emerged in the dominion of majesty, and the splendor of glory shone under the banners of the soldiers of grandeur, the eyes of minds were stunned, and the gazes of imaginations were bewildered. The thoughts fell, and the writings of the beings were erased. The Imam al-Ghazali explains the meaning of separation, hijra, as the burning fire kindled by the one who is the owner of hell. In the Sufi sense, separation refers to the absence of divine manifestations from the lover's heart. This absence is something that the lover cannot bear or endure. Therefore, patience in love is considered as the erasure of love itself. One of the famous sayings related to this is from the Sufi scholar Al-Shibli. When asked about the most complex type of patience, he replied, "Patience about Allah," which refers to enduring the feeling of abandonment in the absence of His presence. Hajdi, Ahadiyya, refers to the divine singularity, the ultimate and indivisible oneness of God as understood in Sufism. It's the essence of the divine before creation, beyond the concepts of both divinity and humanity. TJL, Tajalli, divine manifestation, where God's presence becomes apparent in the world. It's a concept deeply explored in Sufism, denoting the moments when the divine reveals itself in various forms. Lutfrid, Tafrid, refers to the state of acknowledging the singularity of the divine in all matters. It's a more refined stage after Tajalli, where the individual realizes that all things ultimately point back to God. Lukshwa, Kashu, humility, awe and submission, often used to describe the reverential state of beings in the presence of God. Laswat, Aswat, sounds, but here referring to the voices in awe before the divine, reflecting submission. Lelbi, Albab, refers to hearts or minds, particularly those purified or open to receive divine knowledge or inspiration. Libi, Heba, a form of awe or majesty that overwhelms the senses, often used in describing the overwhelming presence of the divine. LWSL, Wisal, union with the divine. A key concept in Sufism describes the state where the soul attains closeness or unity with God, surpassing all human limitations. Lanur, Anwar, lights, often metaphysical, used to describe divine illuminations or guidance that guides the soul towards the divine. The passage is rich in symbols, many of which relate to spiritual practices and the deep inner journey that Sufis undertake to transcend the mundane world and attain closeness with God. The references to prophets like Adam, Ibrahim, Musa and Ayub further illustrate the symbolic use of figures representing different spiritual stations, qualities or struggles that Sufis encounter on their path to divine union. The winds of union swept across the carpets of the soul's territories. The fragrance of the moment bloomed, and the joy reached its peak, while the exaltation of the spirit intensified. The mysteries of the primordial hiddenness were revealed from the folds of the paths of the eternal essence. Oh, how delicate these paths were as the illusions faltered in their inability to comprehend their nature. The meanings became refined, and the thoughts were overwhelmed by their inability to grasp their reality. They shone like lightning, dazzling the pupils of the thoughts from the clouds of eternity. They were like suns rising from the spheres of the states. By God, the lightning had lost its way upon its emergence, shining brilliantly yet obscured, and the suns were embarrassed by their appearance, flickering and teasing. Explanations of key terms. The beloved. In Sufi literature, this term refers to the divine essence, a profound and awe-inspiring object of mystical love, God. The paths refer to the spiritual journey, a metaphysical adventure through which a Sufi seeks union with the divine. Lightning and suns. These symbols represent divine knowledge and light. The lightning symbolizes sudden, surprising flashes of insight, while the sun represents steady, eternal illumination. The cloud of eternity, a mystical reference to the divine eternal presence that veils the complete comprehension of reality. Divine Poetry by Al-Jilani. When the hand of will revealed its beauty, the veil of concealment lifted, and the infinite forces of the eternal arranged her features upon the throne of divine longing, defying the mockery of aspiring lovers. The luminous image emerged from the depths of its origins, revealing its attributes and meanings. The beauty of its glance, so alluring, ignited the desires of the longing souls, and its mesmerizing moments captivated the hearts of those searching for truth. When they approached to behold her majesty, the crown of her beauty shook in a gathering of perfection, scattering jewels of acceptance and pearls of divine pleasure upon their heads. Then, she disappeared behind veils of pride and cloaks of majesty, and the hearts were torn with longing while the spirits burned with thirst and desire. The branches of love swayed, whispering to the winds of yearning, and the leaves of patience scattered, lamenting the anguish of separation. O travelers of the soul, embark on this profound journey towards these realms. O souls of the hearts, hasten to attain these lofty degrees. And say, work, and Allah will see your deeds, and His messenger and the believers will bear witness to them. Quran, At-Tawbah 9, 105. Divine beauty and desire for union. The text begins with spiritual longing and admiration for the divine, where the veil of beauty is lifted, revealing the magnificence of the divine presence. The lines explore the concept of sacred beauty that stirs longing in the hearts of seekers, comparing it to a lover's desire and the thirst for truth. The state of spiritual yearning. The longing for divine union is compared to the physical and emotional effects of love, desire, and longing. The souls of the seekers are described as being parched with thirst, and their hearts are consumed by love. This idea is often expressed through nature metaphors, such as branches swaying in love, or leaves falling from the tree of patience due to the pain of separation. The search for truth. A motif of traveling through spiritual journeys and searching for higher realms is portrayed. The riders of the soul are called to seek out higher states of being, to strive for divine closeness. The references to working and seeking imply that spiritual pursuit requires action and commitment, with divine approval earned through sincere effort. The mystical encounter with the divine. The text references moments of divine revelation, where the mystic encounters the sacred in various forms and speaks of union with God. The mystical phrase, "I am the truth," in LHQ, attributed to figures like Al-Hallaj, points to the soul's realization of its essential unity with the divine. This idea of divine madness or ecstasy is a recurring theme in Sufi poetry. Sacrifice and devotion. The notion of sacrifice is portrayed as an integral part of spiritual ascension, where the mystic is asked to offer up everything, even their life, in search of divine closeness. The references to sacrifice are connected to devotion to the truth and the obliteration of the self for the sake of the sacred. The mystical experience of union and ecstasy. The final parts discuss experiences of ecstasy and spiritual fulfillment, where the mystic becomes drunk with divine love and loses awareness of the material world. The metaphor drinking from the cup of love expresses the transformative power of divine affection. General translation notes. Sufi terms. Words like majestic, truth, union, love, ecstasy, and the heart's thirst reflect the classical Sufi quest for the divine. Mystical phrases. Phrases such as "I am the truth" are attributed to Al-Hallaj, a famous mystic who was executed for his extreme expressions of spiritual enlightenment, which were considered blasphemous by some. Imagery. The imagery of nature, veils, and spiritual ascent reflects the Sufi tradition of using tangible symbols to express the ineffable experience of the divine. Poem 1. Divine Beauty and Yearning for Union. I long for a glimpse of His beauty. The veil has been lifted, revealing the divine. O lover of the beloved, your heart is parched with thirst. The soul, swaying like a branch in love, falls like a leaf from the tree of patience. O seeker, ride forth on the path in search of that which is beyond. You must work, you must strive, for only through effort will the divine be won. Poem 2. The Search for Truth and Divine Closeness. Come, seek what you do not know, for in seeking you will find the path. The heart, once torn by separation, it is healed only by the presence of the beloved. The lover's soul is intoxicated, drunk on the wine of divine love. I am the truth, the eternal one, the source of all that is sought. Poem 3. The Mystical Encounter with the Divine. With every step, my soul ascends, rising above the world to meet the divine. In the silent night, the soul whispers, calling out to the one who listens. The heart is ablaze with love, consumed by the fire of divine longing. O truth, reveal yourself to me, and I will sacrifice all to be with you. Poem 4. Sacrifice and Devotion. Let the world burn in the flames of devotion, for only in sacrifice will I find my peace. My life is but a fleeting shadow, yet in giving it, I draw closer to you. O beloved, take me as I am, a humble offering of love and longing. Poem 5. Mystical Union and Ecstasy. Drink from the cup of love and be drunk with the ecstasy of union. The world dissolves in the light of your presence, and my soul is free, soaring in the heavens. In the depth of this love I lose myself, and in losing, I find the true self within.
The poet calls upon God's majesty and attributes, asking for divine favor and protection. He refers to God with names like Al-Hafiz, the preserver, Al-Muqit, the sustainer, and Al-Jalil, the majestic, recognizing the attributes of God that provide sustenance and support in times of hardship. So the lovers drank nothing except my remnants, and they drank from my cups after me. Had they drunk what I drank and witnessed it, they would have become drunk before even approaching the sacred assembly. From the noble and pure station of the source of secrets, and they would have become confused by the collision of the roses. I am the moon in this world, and others are but stars. Al-Jilani's verses speak of a love and ecstasy of spiritual closeness to God that is not just profound, but overwhelming. His experience is presented as unique, and he claims that those who partake in it, even after him, would feel spiritually lost. He is like the moon, the greatest of celestial bodies, while others are stars. So the lovers drank nothing except my remnants, and they drank from my cups after me. Had they drunk what I drank and witnessed it, they would have become drunk before even approaching the sacred assembly. From the noble and pure station of the source of secrets, and they would have become confused by the collision of the roses. I am the moon in this world, and others are but stars. Al-Jilani's verses speak of a love and ecstasy of spiritual closeness to God that is not just profound, but overwhelming. His experience is presented as unique, and he claims that those who partake in it, even after him, would feel spiritually lost. He is like the moon, the greatest of celestial bodies, while others are stars. And every young man desires it, and so you are my servant. The concept of young man, fata, holds special significance among mystics, especially in Sufism. The ideal youth embodies all virtuous qualities, such as sincerity, humility, and dedication to spiritual growth. My sea is vast, encompassing all the waters, and my knowledge contains all that was before me and all that comes after me. It is all-encompassing and boundless. I carry secrets, and they are whispered in the dark, like the thunderous clouds of the horizon driven by the angel of the storm. O my praise-givers, Speak what you will, and do not fear, for safety in this world and tomorrow. In Sufi's thoughts, Al-Jilani expresses that his understanding and spiritual capacity are limitless, like an endless sea. His knowledge spans all time, past and future. The phrase about the angel of the storm represents the power and majesty of divine revelation, often portrayed as overwhelming yet cleansing in Sufi poetry. The angel of the storm symbolizes the transformative power of divine revelation, which can be both overwhelming and purifying, much like a storm that cleanses the earth. If you wish to attain honor and nearness, then persist in my love and uphold my covenant. The covenant in Sufism refers to the initial divine agreement made with souls before birth, a pledge to be devoted to God and seek closeness. Upholding this covenant through love and dedication brings one closer to the divine. This covenant is a sacred promise between the soul and God, a commitment to love and serve Him, and it is through the fulfillment of this covenant that one can attain honor and nearness to the divine. I am the leader of the spiritual path, the guide for those seeking the ultimate truth. Those who follow me find peace, and those who reject me are lost in the wilderness. My guidance is the way to salvation, and without it, one is left to wander in confusion. Al-Jilani continues to describe his role as a spiritual guide, emphasizing that true peace and salvation are only found by following his guidance. In Sufi teachings, the guide, often a sheikh, is considered essential for the seeker, leading them through the darkness of the material world towards spiritual enlightenment. The lover is never separated from the beloved. Even though the body may be distant, the soul is ever near. In my heart, the beloved resides, and the beloved's presence fills every corner of my being. Every breath I take is a prayer. Every step I make is a journey toward him. Al-Jilani eloquently speaks of the profound connection between the lover, the seeker, and the beloved God. This union, a central theme in Sufism, represents the ultimate goal of spiritual practice, to merge with the divine. Every action of the lover is an act of devotion, bringing them closer to God. Look upon me and see the reflection of the divine, for I am but a mirror reflecting the light. If you seek God, seek within yourself, for the divine resides within the heart of every soul. In the silence of your heart, you will hear the whispers of the divine, guiding you toward the truth. This verse reflects the Sufi belief in the immanence of the divine. Al-Jilani encourages seekers to look inward, as the presence of God is not found in the external world, but in the heart of every individual. The silence within is the key to hearing divine guidance and understanding one's true nature. Do not be deceived by the illusions of this world, for they are fleeting and false. True wealth is in the love of the divine, and true power lies in surrender to his will. Let go of the ego, and you will find freedom, for in selflessness, you will become one with the divine. Al-Jilani warns against the distractions of worldly desires and material wealth. This cautionary advice is a reminder to be mindful and not let these fleeting illusions hinder our spiritual journey. In Sufi philosophy, the ego is the greatest obstacle to spiritual enlightenment. The seeker can experience liberation and union with the divine by surrendering the ego and embracing selflessness. I am the fire that burns away impurities, and I am the water that cleanses the soul. I am the sword that cuts through the veil of ignorance, and I am the light that guides you through the darkness. Whoever comes to me, I will lead them to the truth, and whoever turns away from me will remain lost. Al-Jilani presents himself as the destroyer of illusions, the fire and the purifier, the water. In Sufism, the fire symbolizes the intense longing and love for the divine that purifies the soul, while the water represents the cleansing aspect of divine mercy and grace. His words encourage seekers to trust his guidance as the path to truth and salvation. I am the breath of life in the body of the world, and without me, everything would wither and die. I am the pulse of the universe, the heartbeat of creation, and I am the soul of every living being. In me, all things find their origin and their return. In this verse, Al-Jilani asserts that his presence is integral to all creation. As the breath of life, he represents the sustaining force of the universe, and all beings are connected through this divine essence. This idea reflects the Sufi understanding of the unity of existence. All things emerge from the divine and will ultimately return to it. The world is a garden, and I am the gardener. I plant the seeds of knowledge and wisdom, and I tend to the flowers of love and devotion. If you wish to bloom in this garden, come close to me, for I will nourish your soul, and you will flourish in the beauty of the divine. Here, Al-Jilani uses the garden metaphor to describe the spiritual path. The seeker is the flower, and the guide, Al-Jilani, is the gardener who nurtures the soul through wisdom, love, and devotion. The garden represents the inner world of the seeker, where spiritual growth and divine beauty take root. I am the key to the hidden treasures of the divine, and I hold the secrets of the universe in my heart. Whoever seeks these treasures, let them come to me, for I will unlock the door to the divine realm. Through me, the soul ascends to the highest stations, and through me, the heart finds peace in the presence of the beloved. Al-Jilani speaks of his role as the key to unlocking the most profound spiritual truths. The hidden treasures represent divine knowledge and the inner mysteries of the universe, which are accessible through guidance and inner awakening. The seeker finds peace and divine union by following the path shown by the guide. You drank from my grace after my intoxication, and you did not achieve exaltation or union with me. Your station is high, all of you together, but my station remains higher. I am alone in the presence of divine proximity. He guides me, and my only trust is in the Lord of His Majesty. I am the falcon swift above every elder, and who in the assembly can give an example like mine? You drank from my grace after my intoxication, and you did not achieve exaltation or union with me. Your station is high, all of you together, but my station remains higher. I am alone in the presence of divine proximity. He guides me, and my only trust is in the Lord of His Majesty. I am the falcon swift above every elder, and who in the assembly can give an example like mine? I studied knowledge until I became the axis, and I called forth happiness from the Lord of Lords. They clothed me in the garment of honor and crowned me with the crowns of perfection. He revealed to me a secret from ancient times, and He entrusted me and gave me what I asked for. He granted me authority over the poles, and my decree is binding in every high place. If I were to cast my secret into the fire, it would melt and extinguish the secret of my state. If I cast my secret upon the dead by the power of the Lord, it would rise and walk. If I cast my secret into mountains, if I cast my secret into seas, there are no seasons or ages that affect it. It informs me of what occurs and what is to come. The lands of God are my dominion under my rule. They will be crushed and hidden beneath the sands. Everything would sink into oblivion, but it will come to me and inform me. Then I will cease from the dispute, and my time has been purified before me. The drums in the heavens and the earth have sounded, and the will of happiness has revealed itself to me. I am Al-Jilani. My name is the reviver of the religion. I am Al-Hassani, and my station is the hidden one. My banners are raised on the tops of mountains, and my footsteps are upon the necks of men. Men camped in a place of night, and attained the highest of aims in love. Men in the daytime, lions of the forest, and monks when the night falls. Men who fast in their hardships, and their cries rise high in the night. Men who are never distracted from Him, and they never choose palaces in the valleys. Men to whom no guest is harmed, and the companion suffers not, nor does he mind. Men wandering through every valley in the forests in search of union. O men, connect with the beloved, to extinguish the fire of distance and separation. O men, I was killed unjustly by a glance that resembled the dart of an arrow. O men, take the good tidings, for I am your sheikh, the axis of perfection. I am the sheikh of the sheikhs. I possess knowledge, patience, and connection. Who among the friends of God is like me, and who in ruling and influence is my equal? This poem is a spiritual or devotional piece, with themes of divine longing and a journey of self-realization. It uses metaphors like the ocean, pearls, and the journey of discovery to symbolize the quest for truth or spiritual enlightenment. In this metaphor, the ocean represents the divine or the beloved, and the pearl symbolizes the individual soul, lost in the vastness of the divine. The poem speaks of longing for the beloved, God, the divine, or a loved one, and references the trials and challenges encountered in the pursuit of union or connection. The poem's structure, with its deep contemplative tone, reflects the emotional and intellectual journey of the soul. It contemplates life's challenges, the pain of separation, and the beauty of eventual union. The use of nature elements, such as the ocean, pearls, and flowers, as symbols for various personal or spiritual growth stages, adds a layer of depth to the poem's meaning. The poem beautifully illustrates the transformative power of love, inspiring hope and a sense of wonder in the audience. It explores the themes of longing and separation, symbolized by the relationship between the ocean and the pearl. The sea represents divine love or God, and the pearl symbolizes the soul, lost and yearning to reunite with its source. The poem emphasizes the journey toward union with the divine, the struggles along the way, and the profound changes that love can bring. It also stresses the eternal nature of divine love, offering the audience a sense of comfort and reassurance in the face of life's challenges. It paints a picture of spiritual evolution and devotion through natural metaphors, leaving the audience with a sense of awe at the beauty of the spiritual journey. Separation and longing, the soul's desire for reunion with the divine or a beloved. Spiritual journey, the problematic yet rewarding path towards self-realization and enlightenment. Divine love, the eternal nurturing force that transcends physical existence. Transformation and rebirth, the soul grows and transforms through pain and longing. Eternal union, true fulfillment comes only through union.